The centre of Glasgow, 3 days before Christmas. Just minutes earlier, a bin lorry had careered out of control. It was early afternoon and Queen Street was packed with shoppers. Many of the images taken here are too distressing to show.
He just lost control. He went along the pavement. Everybody that was in the way, they were trying to get out the road, and it was just like a scene like a bomb had hit it.
I've pulled my girlfriend out the way so that, you know, I wouldn't get hit at all, or it's mainly protecting my girlfriend, but yeah.
On that particular day I was there just to cover a shift at Glasgow and Ice. My shift was supposed to actually finish at 2 o'clock, and luckily for me, I don't know if that's the right word, somebody called in sick and I was asked to stay on, which I did. And then the first I realised that something had happened was through a radio message. One of my colleagues came screaming down asking for a defib, and that's basically when I sort of realised something happened.
So as one of the volunteer coordinators who were coordinating over the festive period, my thoughts were, what can I do, how can I assist? And I decided to go up to George Square and offer whatever help or support I could to the casualties as well as the team that were currently on site.
I had looked onto the floor and I just seen an unconscious female. That's all I seen at that point. So then I went round and seen what happened. I tried to check for a response, check for pain, check for breathing. I found that quite quickly that there was no breathing taking place, so I just started CPR quickly. Another bystander helped do CPR as well. Then after that, ambulance crews turned up, and that's when I had finally seen like the whole incident, because when I had first got onto the square I thought that was the only thing that had happened, but then as I had looked around a bit more, it looked like it was more casualties than expected.
The more people that can be encouraged to get basic training is what's going to help save lives out there.
It was an honour to be nominated by the Scottish Ambulance Service for the First Minister's Private Heart Award, and not only was it an honour to be nominated for it, to actually receive it off the First Minister.
Certainly on that day at George Square, without our training we wouldn't have been able to assist to the extent that we did. We were not the only people that stopped to help that day. There was numerous members of the general public actually stopped to help that day, and whether they did or didn't have formal first aid training, they put whatever knowledge they had into practice, and certainly those skills were absolutely essential that day and in any sort of emergency.
I feel everybody in Scotland should learn first aid because it's a good skill to have. You never know when it's going to be needed. It could be needed for something major, as such as what happened at George Square, to something really minor, either in the street, at home, at work, place of business, anywhere like that. Again, a lot of people think, you know, that it's something minor that you're going to treat all the time. It's not always the case. So I think you should always know your first aid, learn your first aid, and be prepared for whatever's going to come your way, so you have the skills and the equipment that you need to treat whatever there is.